And we're going to do, hi there, Julie.
Hi, Karen.
Hey, well, hello to our listeners. I'm Karen Salisbury,
And I'm Julie Summers.
and we are here, still talking. We are a heartfelt podcast where two lifelong friends share the wisdom and hard-earned insights that come from decades of life experience. And today, we are going to talk about manifestation. How do we manifest things?
I'm just learning how to manifest things. Wasn't familiar with the concept. I knew nothing about it at all. But I've been working on it, making the effort, putting the work in, and it really pays off.
Yes, it does. And a lot of people don't understand about that. Like what you just said is, that you got to work it. It's not like you're just going to sit underneath a Bodhi tree, and that you're just going to think about it. Wishful thinking, that's not manifesting. I mean, we can all sit there and do it, anywhere and say, "Oh, I wish this to happen," but we got to make steps, right?
We have to make steps. And my thing is like, I never knew that it felt selfish to me to ask for things for myself. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. It felt uncomfortable. But I had to have the faith. I had to have more faith in the universe that the universe is working in my favor and wants the best for me. I just have to figure out what I want for myself.
That is true. And what you said is that about asking the universe. A lot of people are uh, they're not comfortable in asking the universe for what they want. And then of course there's many of other people out there who ask constantly. But for a lot of people, it's uncomfortable because they were not given that opportunity. They weren't raised that way to be, to ask because in some ways they think it's selfish. And it's not selfish. It's a-okay to ask the universe for what you want, what you need.
And I've been learning so much. I've learned through the years. Karen's always talked about that, but honestly, it went in one ear and out the other. I just couldn't connect to it. And then a friend of mine, Sue, started a manifesting group, and I went to it a couple times, and I was okay. I think I'm kind of buying this. I had to buy into it, which it's not an easy to to change your thinking. It's really
That's
not.
true. That's true. A lot of us, we're so indoctrinated into a certain way of thinking that it's hard for us to change that track, to jump over to a different way. And with manifestation, it's all about alignment and getting yourself, first of all, to set a goal, have a vision, and know the steps that need to be taken, plan it out, and then engage, then take the action. And that's one of the things I know that you and I've talked about before is that it's so important above and beyond just the concept, just the conceiving of the idea, and then writing out steps is actually to do it physically. Do it. Get out there. It's like a farmer who wants to have a crop to harvest. They just can't sit back in the lounge chair and just envision that the crop is going to grow. No, they got to get out there and till the soil and plant the seeds and take care of the weeds, and then they benefit from the harvest. So they had to do the actions, and that's so important.
I had to figure out what I wanted. I mean, people say, well, what do you want? And I didn't know what I wanted. And so it was like, how does the universe knows what you want unless you know what you want? And I had to start figuring that out. What
Uh-huh.
do I really want for myself?
Right, right. That That is a hard one for people to actually create their vision board or vision box or the list of things that they want in their life. It really is difficult because some people are afraid to put it down in writing or even to think it because they don't want to make a mistake. They think, well, this is maybe I'll put all my work into this, all my effort into this, and then it won't be what I want. Um, I look at it as, well, that is what you need and want at that time. And it's okay to take a detour later on because maybe that is what you're supposed to do. And maybe your purpose or the goal has already been met and you don't realize it until after you have completed your journey. Like I said, it's okay to take a detour.
That's so true. And I have all my life, I had no problem of figuring out what I didn't want. That's never been a problem for me. Like, I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that. It's a whole new thing thinking about, okay, you don't want this. So what is the opposite that you want that you don't,
Uh-huh.
it was mind-boggling.
Well, let me ask you this, Julie. Did you find that sometimes when you had those list of things that you did not want, that you ended up pulling them in, that you would encounter them over and over again, and you'd be like, this is not what I want.
Absolutely. I mean, I always was the concept like I could screw up a free lunch. I mean, I always just was on the negative. Like when something negative happened to me, I'm like, of course it's going this way. This is me. This is what happens to me. This is my life. It was
Well,
like
I
I had my
remember
whole life in the negative.
I remember being told years ago, decades ago, that the universe does not know the word not. And so if you put out there, I don't want this, well, you know what? You're going to end up with it because the universe doesn't understand not. So my story is that I had a list. It's so funny. I had a list that I had written out of the type of person I wanted to have as a partner, as a husband. And in the beginning of this list, I had, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want that. And I was pulling in those kinds of people all the time. Oh my God, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, they all ended up being exactly the same. And I was like, what is going on? So I looked at my list and I said, oh my gosh, the universe doesn't understand don't not. So I eliminated all of those negative comments and put in all the positives. And I have to chuckle. This the very first line I said, I want a husband.
I remember
I've told you this story. So
Yeah.
I said on the first line, I want a husband. And then I had all the positive characteristics and attributes that I wanted in a man that would be my husband. And then I started getting all these men that were interested in me, and every single one of them were married, hiding it from me. Oh, they're separated or whatever. And I was like, what is going on? Okay, why am I getting all these guys that are already married? And then I looked back at my list, and the very first line, a husband. I was like, oh no, the universe is answering my request. It was giving me a husband, everybody else's husband, not mine. So I had to change that and say, a man who is not married. I said, a man who is willing to be married to me and is available currently. And then,
I
yes, I
love
got
that
somebody.
story. I love that story. I'm still working on that, but
Yeah.
uh I just it is just so freeing to know that I can ask. And Karen has helped me so much, and my friend Sue, like with vision boards. Um, I went and I got some magazines and I just started going through them. And I started whatever picture stood out for me, like I felt in my heart, whatever it was, I cut out and I put on my vision board. So when I look at my vision board, everything on that vision board made me smile, it
Yeah.
was just, it was unbelievable when I had to visually see it. Um, and Karen, thank you for helping me with that because I had no focus. So now I have more focus and it's making all the difference in manifesting for me.
And that is one of the techniques that I had learned decades ago was definitely to put it in writing and have it in front of you. Like some people put it on their mirror, so they see it every morning, and others have it in something that they carry in their wallet or their purse. I certainly, for me, I did it when I wanted to buy my house in Florida. I did the same thing. I went through all these magazines and cut out all these pictures of things that I wanted in my house. And I knew exactly what type of house I wanted. I mean, right down to the square footage. I had a range and how many rooms. I wanted a corner lot and I wanted trees. And I mean, I really envisioned it. And I had all these pictures and I collected them for 3 years. I threw them in a box. I called it my vision box. I did not have it on a vision board or out on out in front of me all the time, but I looked at least weekly. And as I saved money for the house, and then when I bought my house, I got it and I bought it and I was living in it. I was looking at my vision box and I realized how many things that were in my box of pictures that I had collected for 3 years that were in my house, that were right down to the exact type of faucet that I had in the bathrooms, the nickel plated, the exact shape, even the wainscoting that I had in one of the bathrooms, the black granite counters that I had in the kitchen, the stainless steel appliances, all of them were almost exactly, if not exactly, in that I had collected, and they were in my vision box. And I was just sitting there chuckling to myself, saying, "Okay, thank you, universe. I got what I asked for." And it wasn't like it just fell in my lap, that somebody didn't come along and say, "Oh, hey, there's a house." No, it was I did have the vision box. I collected, I kept manifesting it. I knew what I needed and wanted. Then I went out looking for the house. I knew what I wanted. And then when I found it, then I took the actions, the steps that I had to take to get it, let it be mine. And it was just a joy when I finally achieved what I had envisioned for over 3 years.
I love that story. You know what? And the thing is I've been manifesting something the last 10 years and I didn't even really know I was manifesting it.
Oh, what's that?
Um, I was manifesting, it's the first time in 10 years I've lived a life on my own. And I wasn't pulling in chaos. And I was choosing that because I would see chaos and I would back away from it. And I just wanted to have a connection to all my kids. And I always had so many things in the way that it blocked me from that true connection with my children. And then I look back on the last 10 years and I have a beautiful connection with all my kids and my grandkids. And I had shared that with Karen, and she said, "Well, you have manifested that because
Mm-hmm.
I did make the decision not to bring a lot of chaos in my life, which allowed me to be, which is the most power thing for me, a good mother, a good listener, available for my kids."
That's right. You did. You manifested a beautiful life for your children. I knew that from the day that I met you, that you were a really beautiful mother and your kids came first and you did everything in your power. You manifested so many things to bring those children up right, to protect them. And it's just a beautiful thing. Anybody who's manifesting something, when it's in alignment with who they really are, it really is beautiful. The energy that comes from that is just fabulous. And anybody who ends up being in your area, being in your circle of influence, feels that effect. And I certainly did. I felt that effect. Yeah, heck, Julie, you even mothered me.
Oh, I
And
could say the
I
same,
love
believe
that.
me. Yeah, so manifest is I love it. It literally has changed my life. The more I get into it over the past year, year and a half, it literally has changed my life. I'm able to flip a script so quickly now. I know right away when I'm bringing negative stuff into my life
Mm-hmm.
versus bringing powerful stuff in my life. It's
Mm-hmm.
all like Karen, you said, like you've told me, like we're all energy and we
Yes.
really can pull what we want in our life. And it's okay to ask for these things. To be positive, to have good things come. And just flip the script on the negative. Don't stay in it. Let it go.
That's right. A lot of people get mired into, get stuck in all of that negativity, and they have to, uh, you know, step back and say, okay, this is not what I want. I do have to look at what I need and want, um, and it takes a very how can I say this? It takes an intention. A person has to have a clear goal, and it might be muddy in the beginning, but eventually it all becomes very clear. Speak it with intention, and whether they say it out loud or they write it down, I absolutely believe in writing it down or collecting pictures, and then take steps toward it. Like I said, put it in action, do the actions that will bring it forth. And when you do this, then you'll begin to notice shifts in the people and the things around you. Opportunities will be presented in front of you, and the energy shifts, and it becomes a beautiful thing. And then when you finally achieve what it is that you were manifesting for, you're going to sit back and you look at it and say, "Wow, that really wasn't that difficult." It happened, and then the biggest thing as well is to give gratitude, right?
Thank the universe, yes. And I've been able to now help. I'm a channel too. I've been able to, people that come up and, they're upset or they're not know where they want to go. I'm like, well, just think about this. What do you want for yourself? And that's what
That's
I'm saying to you, to anybody I come across on this episode, like, what do you want for yourself? You
that is
deserve it.
true. Yes. And we look at it saying, okay, I like to say it's not only just for us, it is all of the individuals that are in our life, our circle of influence, the people that matter to us and the people that we care for. Absolutely. Make our manifestations for them as well, and they will be taken care of.
So I'm so grateful to be here. I love this opportunity. Karen, thank you so much. I love the power behind manifesting. I've really seen it work in my life. I've seen it work in Karen's life. I've seen it work in my friend Sue's life. Um, Give it a shot. It's what do you have to lose, right? You only have something to gain.
Right, exactly. And so, folks, our listeners here today, if you have a story to share about manifestation or would like to share another story with us, or if you have a question about manifestation or anything else, please contact us anytime at still here, still talking at yahoo.com. And we like to thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. This is Still Here, Still Talking. We're not experts, we're just experienced.
God bless you all.
God bless and goodbye.
Bye bye.